Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jossum, aka Awesome Jossum, and I want to thank you for clicking on my video. On this channel, we like to celebrate Disney, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. So if you like any or all of those things, consider bippity boppity bopping that subscribe button, ring the bells of notification so you're instantaneously notified when I post something new, and please leave a big old thumbs up at the end of this video if you liked it all the way through. Now today I did want to jump on here because I have been lying to you guys.
This is really, really hard to share. I don't know if I'm ready to share this with you guys.
I collect dolls. You guys know I'm just teasing. So I wanted to hop on here because, as you all know, I love and I adore Disney makeup, and that's probably the biggest thing that I collect. But what many of you don't know is I do have a secondary collection that I'm gonna share with you today, and that is my Disney Animator doll collection. Now this is probably the second largest collection that I collect in regards to Disney merch, and I wanted to share it with you today. So I did want to give you guys just a little bit of background information on the dolls in case you were interested in learning a little bit more about them or looking them up online. So they actually debuted in fall of 2011. That was a long time ago, and I have been collecting them ever since. They were also created by Glenn Keane and Mark Han. So those two names are very well known in the Disney community.
Except I just read it on paper, so y'all are gonna have to forgive me.
But after I figured out who they were, they are very influential people in the Disney community. Why? Because they were actually two lead animators who helped to create the princesses we love and adore today. Ariel, Mulan, Pocahontas, Jasmine, and the newer one that they created together was Rapunzel. Now these dolls were a creative project between both of them to create a childlike or more like an adolescent version of our favorite heroes and heroines. Originally, the dolls retailed for $24.50, and that's what I remember buying them at. But recently, when I went on to shopdisney.com just to see what new ones they have and also what the pricing was like, they're at $29.50, right? No, just kidding, $29.95. So they did jump up about $5. So instead of $25, it's almost $30. Now they did go through generational changes, meaning that the dolls kind of changed, whether it was their outfits, whether it was the accessories that came with them. So there was a first generation, a second generation, a third generation, so on and so forth. And you can find all of that information online. Actually, I'll probably link down below a pictograph of the dolls that were released with the years and also what generation they belong to, because when I found that out, it was very interesting to see and also to coordinate which ones were first generation to second, third, so on and so forth. Now, when I went in to purchase these, I didn't really have the mindset or education about the dolls and the generations that they had. So I just went in and found the dolls that I really enjoyed and I purchased them. Now, since my last purchase on the collection, there have been a few other dolls that were introduced to the line that I don't have.
And now that I found out that they're available, I wanna buy them. I wanna buy them all.
But I do not have Flynn Rider, I do not have Moana, I do not have Elena of Avalor, as well as two villains that they introduced, which was Ursula and Maleficent. So I am probably gonna be on the lookout for those and eventually add them to my collection. But without further ado, let me show you all of my dolls. Jumping right in, we're gonna start with our OG princesses. On the left, we have Snow White, and she looks absolutely adorable. One thing that you're gonna hear me say throughout this entire video is how much I love the creation and the stylization of the face. All of their faces look super cute, they look so innocent and very childlike, and it's one thing that drew me to the collection as a whole. Now, Snow White is depicted in her traditional princess outfit, and I love that her yellow dress is embellished with a beautiful gold glitter. To me, it just elevates the doll a little bit more. Also, in comparison to the first generation that they produced of her, she is shown here with a beautiful apple red cape, something that I associate Snow White to have. Next, we have Cinderella, and I selected Generation 2 Cinderella because of her beautiful, luscious locks. I love that Cinderella is also depicted in her traditional blue ball gown that we see in the movie, but again is elevated with silver glitter to give it a little bit more sparkle and pizzazz. Next, we have Princess Aurora. Now, this is the second generation doll, and she's depicted in her pink ball gown that we associate her in most of the merch that you see. Now, I actually wanted the Generation 1 version of this doll because she was stylized and presented as Briar Rose. And anytime I think of my beautiful Sleeping Beauty, I always remember Briar Rose. Moving into the next grouping, on the left we have Ariel. Now Ariel is a second generation doll, and I absolutely love that they showcased her in her fin. It is still a traditional baby doll and it has 2 feet. However, the dress that they constructed for her slides over both of them to replicate her fin. Now, what you'll notice in between her and the other two is that she doesn't have a furry friend, so to say, in her hand. And in the first generation and in the third generation, she actually comes with Flounder. I kind of wish I picked up one or the other so that I could have her with Flounder, just because he does look cute and it just gives her a little bit something more in the box. Next, we're introduced to our very first male baby doll. Now, this is Aladdin. He's considered Generation 3, but this is the first time he was introduced to the whole doll lineup. So when they started to produce the third generation of dolls, that's when they introduced Aladdin. I love this one because it's very special to me. It was gifted to me on my birthday by one of my aunts, and I enjoy that he's replicated in his street rat outfit. He has a little furry friend, Abu, and also, I know the ring light is kind of cutting it off, but if you take a look at the very top of his head, you can see he's wearing his little fez. And one thing that I love is his facial expression. He just looks like he's ready to get into some trouble and hopefully run away from the palace guards. And of course, you can't have Aladdin without his beautiful Princess Jasmine. Now, this is a Generation 1 doll, and I selected this one because in comparison to 2 and 3, this is the only doll where she's shown wearing pants. I don't know why they put her in a dress in the other ones, but I don't like it. She's also wearing a cute little tunic, which just gives it more of an adolescent flair. She also has Raja as her furry friend and her bejeweled crown hairpiece that she wears in the movie. Also, one thing that I don't have in this video is a picture of her shoes, and those are probably my favorite thing on this doll because they are super curly and they're just adorable. On the left of our next group, we have Princess Belle. Now, this is a Generation 2 doll, and she's shown depicted in her golden yellow Belle ball gown. I think she's cute, and I really enjoy her facial features. However, I do wish I could have found Generation 1. In the first generation, she was depicted in her villager outfit, so the blue dress with the white apron, and she had Chip in her hand. I could not find her. She was one of the hardest to find in that outfit. So to complete my collection, I just picked up the second. Moving right into my absolutely favorite princess in the world, we have Pocahontas. Now, Pocahontas is a Generation 2 doll, and I love the way that they captured her facial expression. She looks very regal, and I almost imagine that she's standing on top of the rock, like looking out and seeing John Smith sailing away at the end of the video. But again, that's just me. She has her beautiful long black hair that just flows in the wind, and of course her traditional Powhatan outfit. They also gave her her mother's necklace, and I think it's just an additional touch that makes it super cute and super charming. And of course we have Mulan. Now Mulan is a Generation 2 doll, and I think she's probably one of my favorites from my entire collection. I enjoy that they didn't go the traditional approach with it and just make her look like herself. I enjoy that they added elements of a youthfulness to her. For example, her hair, it's braided in two pigtails. I love that they gave her little trousers in this as opposed to the dress that she wears in the reflection segment. And I love that she's wearing a traditional Chinese looking blouse, and that it has kind of that underbust belting. She's just super cute. The colors are fantastic, and I really enjoy that she looks very youthful and serene. Next in my collection, we have Princess Tiana. Now, Tiana is a Generation 2 doll, and I absolutely love her. She is truly the bee's knees. Now, since Tiana is shown in her film as a child, I think it was so important and smart of them to keep her look very similar when creating this doll. She has her cute little pigtails that we've seen, and I love that her natural texture and hair is showing with a few tendrils just spewing out. We also have this gorgeous minty satin green dress that she's wearing, and it just makes her look very adorable and very youthful. Next, we have Rapunzel. Now, Rapunzel is a Generation 2 doll, and I just realized all three of these dolls in this grouping were shown in their film as children. So again, I love that they kept her facial features and her look very similar to the movie. Of course, those beautiful big doe eyes are absolutely adorable, and I love that her long, luscious hair just goes all the way down to the bottom of the box. Now, in the Generation 1 and Generation 3, she does come with a little Pascal furry friend, which would have been cool to have, but regardless, she's still one of my favorites from my collection. Next, we have Merida. Now, Merida is a Generation 1 doll, and you'll notice that her box is slightly different and bigger than the rest. That's because this doll was introduced to the lineup when her film debuted, so she was new to the whole series and to the Disney franchise altogether. I love, once more, that they kept her facial features and look similar to what we've seen in the movie, because we've seen her as a child. Her dress is that beautiful teal color with gold accents, and my favorite feature of all is her long, luscious red locks. I think they did a really good job on her, and I love that her facial feature looks very sly, like she is ready to go, shoot some arrows, and just go on an adventure. Moving on, we have the Frozen franchise. On the left, we have Princess Anna. Now, Anna is a Generation 2 doll, and again, I enjoy that they kept her true to movie. She has her beautiful little red pigtails and her youthful dress that we see in the movie. You'll notice that her box is slightly different than the rest, and that's because, again, like Merida, she was introduced to the lineup as a new princess and a new doll altogether, so this was the box that they introduced her in. Moving on, we have Kristoff. Now, Kristoff is a Generation 3 doll, and just like Aladdin, this was the first time he was introduced to the doll lineup. Now, I love Kristoff. His outfit is absolutely adorable. I love that they have little mittens on his hand, and most importantly, he's one of my favorites because of just the recognition of how he looked in the film. So when Frozen 1 starts, you see baby Kristoff and baby Sven out on the ice fjords and just like creating these little blocks of ice and helping the older Nordic men just like cultivate the ice. So it's super cute, and I really like the nostalgia behind it, and I don't know, I just love his very determined facial feature. And of course, you have to have Elsa. Now, Elsa is a Generation 3 doll, and unlike her sister, her box reverted back to the traditional Disney Animator doll collection packaging. Now, I love the colors of her dress, and I love that they kept that traditional Nordic style that we see in the movie, but she's probably one of my least favorite dolls from the collection. I don't know what it is, there's just something about her face that I don't really like. Her hair is cute, and she has a little Olaf in her hand, but I don't know, she's not my favorite, but of course I had to have her to complete my mini collection. In our next group setting, we have Tinkerbell. Now, Tinkerbell is a Generation 3 doll, and like some of the other ones that I mentioned before, this was the first time she's introduced to the lineup. She is one of my favorites for my collection because of her outfit and her look. I love that they gave her a traditional baby doll fit and flare dress, and that the bottom half of it, the skirt, is actually like little petals that form the flared part. Also, her shoes are adorable and they have these ginormous white pom-poms on them. Of course, like Tinkerbell's shoes in the movie. And her hair just looks stunning. Also, if you look in the back of the box, you can see she has her wings. And I think that's so important because she is a fairy from Neverland and she looks super cute and super sweet, unlike the sassy princess that we know from the movie. Next in the collection, we have Lilo. Lilo is a Generation 3 doll, and I absolutely love the way they styled this doll. She has her traditional Hawaiian red dress that we see in the movie, along with a cute little side satchel, and of course, Scrump. If you know me, you know I love Scrump anything. Give me all the Scrump merchandise. Now, there's two things that I wish they would have done differently with this doll. One, giving her a little bit more thickness to her hair, almost like Pocahontas. And two, a different paint job. I feel like the coloring is almost there, but it has like a little bit of a pinky grayness to it, so it doesn't look as warm as like traditional Hawaiian sun-kissed skin looks, or even like her skin looks in the movie. So that was just an observation, but regardless, she's cute and I love having her in my collection. And last but certainly not least, we have Boo. Boo is a Generation 3 doll, and I absolutely love that they added her to the lineup. It was a surprise, and I didn't really anticipate her having much merch, but when they added her, it made complete sense. I love that they captured her sweet and spunkiness in her little facial features, and that they kept her very true to the movie with her pigtails and her beaded ponies, as well as her cute little pajama outfit. Also, the little Mike teddy bear, like Mike Wazowski's teddy bear that we see in the movie, they have provided to her as her little furry friend. And I just think it completes everything. It looks super cute and it works well with this collection. And there you have it. That completes my entire Disney Animator doll collection. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I figured it would be fun to share with you guys just a little bit more about me and some of the things that I collect that are Disney. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Leave a big old thumbs up so I know you enjoyed it. Also, what was your favorite doll from my collection? Please let me know down in the description box, as well as if you collect them, let me know which ones you have or which ones are on your to buy list. Thank you again for watching. Please everyone, stay safe, stay sanitized, stay beautiful, and most importantly, have a magical day. Bye.